Hey, it's been a while, and I got some Brickadia to talk about. There has been 2 updates since my last video, Brickadia Alpha 5 Patch 3 and Patch 4. We're going to talk about those updates in this video. Despite being very late, still going to talk about them, and we're also going to talk about some new stuff the devs have been leaking and talking about. Let's not waste any time, we're going straight into Alpha 5 Patch 3. The 2 big updates to patch 3 were the new features added to the applicator and the addition of NVIDIA DLSS. Now, if you don't know what DLSS is, it stands for Deep Learning Super Sampling. It's basically an image upscaling technology. Your game runs at a lower resolution and an AI upscales it. For the most part, the dip in image quality when you use DLSS is negligible. You can tell, but it's far worth the boost in performance you'll get when you use this. Unfortunately, it's only for RTX 20 and RTX 30 GPUs. So if you have an older graphics card and you can't really run this game, it's not going to be a solution for you, unfortunately. However, it's cool. Anyway, patch 3 added new features to the applicator. You can now make stuff like invisible walls by toggling the visibility of bricks. You can only see these bricks if you're holding a building tool. This is what invisible bricks look like. Also added to the applicator are brick collision channels. You can toggle whether bricks collide with players, so whether you can walk through them or not, whether they collide with projectiles, so if you can shoot through them or not, and whether you can interact through them, so if you can click a checkpoint through a brick or not. That's only one example of an interaction. When behaviors and wires are added, yes, wires, I'll get to that later, this collision channel will have much more use. Alpha 5 Patch 3 also added the bow. This thing has been in the game for a very long time, and now it's finally finished and in the game proper. As stated by the devs themselves, this is a very important feature, and the game is basically complete now. There's been some performance upgrades regarding brick replication, and of course, with every update at this point, there is more cosmetics. And I'm always happy for more cosmetics, because making avatars is fun. By the way, you can check the full changelog for this patch and any future patch for that matter, on Brickadia.com. It's time for patch 4, the latest update so far, the most recent update as in making this video. The biggest thing about this update are the weapons added. It's not really much of a game changer, it's just a really fun update. We got the knife in a previous patch, the first melee weapon, and now we have a whole bunch more melee weapons. We got the arming sword, your basic one-handed sword. We have a Zweihander, whatever. It's a two-handed sword, big. There's a battle axe that has a alternate attack, overhead attack that does a lot of damage. There is the hand axe, which is just a regular melee weapon, but you can also throw it. Also, a non-weapon item has been added, a consumable, a health potion. You can drink it to recover 50 health. And as you can see, all of this has some sort of medieval vibe going on with it. Very much a theme going on with this update, and to continue that medieval theme, they've also added the pulse carbine. And again, more cosmetics. Not just more cosmetics though, a boatload of more cosmetics, making the amount of avatar combinations you can make in this game ridiculous. And there's gonna be more, of course. So yeah, a lot of new melee weapons, fun update. It's also possible that these melee weapons are going to get more mechanics as we move on, including a parry that is planned, but we'll see. And that's pretty much it for Alpha 5, Patch 3, and 4. Now we're moving into features that have been teased by the devs and may or may not be in the next update. The very next thing I'm about to show you will not be in the next update, however. Here's Brickadia City, and as you can see and hear, there is rain. Not only that, but if we fast forward a bit, we have thunder, lightning, and a hell of a lot more rain. So not only are there weather effects planned, but it seems that you'll have a lot of freedom with regards to changing the intensity of these weather effects, whether you can have different things like lightning. I assume you could toggle that stuff. And I'd also assume there'd be more than just rain, maybe just rain at first, but we could have blizzards or just light snowfall. Seems like a really cool feature. It helps my immersion. Yes, my immersion in Brick game. It'll just make builds so much better. You can make a really cinematic deathmatch, like on top of a mountain with heavy downpour and lightning. There's a lot of possibilities. This next dev media feature is mass painting, or a lot of you would probably be more familiar with the fill can from other brick game. Basically, you can use the paint tool to fill or do a mass recolor of contiguous bricks, as in bricks that are touching and have the same color, into different colors. This is extremely useful if you have to color a lot of bricks. Say a giant wall you build out of 1x1, you don't want to paint them all by hand, so you can just use this fill tool to make everything the same color immediately. It's great if you want to recolor things on the fly to see how they look compared to other colors, if you're an interior designer or whatnot. Just another quality of life feature that I won't miss not having. And now for the big one, wires. What are wires? When are wires coming? Why are wires? Well, wires exist as a sort of easy way to do things behaviors do. They're going to be added before behaviors are implemented fully. I have a screen cap here of a dev talking about wires. They said that there might be a blog post about wires soon. You can do stuff like wire switches to doors, wire switches to lights to toggle them on and off. And as stated by the dev, make logic circuits that can do stuff like count. So even without behaviors, this is going to add a whole new avenue of creations that people will be able to make. It's going to blow the doors wide open. Not as much as behaviors, but it's going to be crazy. Maybe I'm hyping this up too much and it can't do as much as I think it can, but this is some crazy stuff for Brickadia. And the ETA on wires may not be the next patch, but it most definitely is in the near future. So we got some crazy stuff on the horizon. The devs have been doing their work. We've been getting fairly consistent patches. They may not be the biggest patches, but that's all right. As long as we don't have to wait a year in between updates, I'm fine. And that's all I have to talk about today about Brickadia 2 patches and very exciting new playing features. If you want to play the game, you can download the alpha on the website. All you have to do is register. You can join the Brickadia Discord. That's where all the dev media comes from and all the juicy developer leaking talk. All that's in the description. And tune in 3 months later when I'll make my next video. Just kidding. I'm joking. Haha. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna leave now. Bye.